We will leverage the use of Zambia's defense forces in peace times. Luckily, we're a country that has experienced peace for years. And during peace times, and this commander-in-chief, this servant of yours, will direct all the defense forces to be involved in this fight to save our lives, to save families, but also to create a platform for a longer-term solution to drought. Because climate change is here with us. It's here to stay. So the defense forces henceforth have been directed to support in the food production. Some of them are already in food production and already have irrigation capacity. But going forward, from today, they will be required to do more. Very clear. With the defense, we don't persuade. We issue instructions. So the instruction has been issued. The rest is detail. We want to get our farmers, we'll get our farmers across the country. Micro, small, medium, large farmers. I see some of my friends here. We are asking you, all of us farmers, depending on where our properties are located, if we have water bodies where we are, working with you in an organized way, not by conscription, but by necessity, will be required to plant now more crop. Now. Yesterday. To irrigate. If your farm has a dam portion, let's utilize the dam to produce food. And we'll work together in that direction. The Ministry of Community Development, I see the minister is here, and social welfare, community development and social welfare, plus our partners in that space, will be required to enhance the social support programs to the vulnerable families. We have an ordinary, ongoing social support programs. Those will continue. But in these 78 or so districts, or more, as I said, we will be looking at additional support to the families that have been afflicted by this drought. I think that comes without hesitation and without questions. The Food Reserve Agency will enhance community sales, maize and other food sales, working with DMMU into the communities, focusing on the data that we've collected, using the data that we've collected, those areas that are affected the most, or the West. That's the guidance to the Food Reserve Agency, and indeed any other partners that will come to the table. So therefore, we call upon our partners, cooperating partners, local and international. Here I'm talking about the business community as well, so I'm saying local and international partners, to avail any excess food they may have and other foods beyond maize. Here when we say food, we mean unga. We mean shima, ugali, as others will call it. But this time we can't have luxury of just shima. Any other support that can be availed will be highly appreciated and will be received with grace, so we can provide relief to our fellow citizens. We are pleased and thankful at this early stage with early engagements that some partners have already extended their willingness, their commitment to support, even before today's declaration. And I won't embarrass any of them, but I think it's fair I mention, because last night I engaged some of them, such as the British, who were very clear that they are on board. The UN system, who were very clear that they are on board. The World Bank group also made the same indication. And indeed others that are clear that support from them will come. But charity begins at home. We ourselves, as a treasury, as a people, have to do certain things. and I'll be saying them just now, one of the key things that we're going to do. We call upon, because of this situation we face, I made a comment not long ago about debt restructuring. So I want to use this opportunity to call on our official creditors, our private creditors. I know we've made a lot of progress with the official creditors, and we thank all of those countries that we've reached consensus with. But some is really just technical issues or process. But by and large, we've reached consensus with the official creditors. But working with the official creditors, with whom we want to put to bed all outstanding bits and pieces, we would like to invite also our private creditors, such as the bondholders, to come to the table to allow us to put to bed fully, not partially, the Zambia debt restructuring project, on which we have spent a lot of time. Minister of Finance knows. Occupies a lot of our time since we took office. We inherited a dramatic and tremendous debt burden. But we've worked so hard. Zambia has fulfilled its commitments under a global framework called the G20. And now is the time to close this process. If the process doesn't close, it's not just an indictment on Zambia. It's an indictment on the global system. We signed up to the global system. The global system must deliver. We have done our part. Because closure is essential now so that we can bring stability in our markets, including financial markets. Certainty is important in any economic management situation. So this will help to add on to certainty. So we call upon our colleagues to do what is necessary. We are directing that all resources that are generated for this call, this declaration of disaster and emergency, will be applied for the intended purposes. There will be accountability here. As always, since we took office, we've been talking about accountability, prudence, use of resources, shifting resources away from consumption expenditure, more to needy areas like this, now than ever before. And we'll be open books, partners who want to contribute to ensuring that systems are in place in addition to what we have already as a country. And that's why, remember, we've been able to achieve a better rating on the perception of corruption in our country. Others thought that it was just a story. It's not a story. It's the measures we've been putting in place. Prudence measures, fight against corruption. Any of colleagues that will be found wanting in this area, immoral area of abusing resources meant for the needy, you're on your own. You're truly on your own. And I want to remind fellow citizens, starting in March, with the 3 pieces of legislation that we passed in the last sitting of Parliament, the Chief Justice has issued practice guidelines in accordance with the legal requirements that take effect 1st of March, that all financial and economic crimes will be prosecuted within 5 months. That is new. We've been working behind the scenes. So I'm sending a signal. There will be nothing like prosecution taking 20 years. It will be done within 5 months. You can make your own interpretation. So, but why do you want to be found in that situation? If you're a decent citizen and you are affected by what has happened with this drought, some family member is hating someone, this is not going to be accepted, tolerated. As I said, we invite our stakeholders, partners, civil society, church, anyone else to work on these control measures, accountability measures, to suggest at an early stage so that we're not reactive. We want to be proactive. We have systems already. There's no question about it. I don't want someone to misinterpret this statement, that there are no systems. But we are always open to suggestions. Longer-term measures. We shall enhance water harvesting mechanisms going forward to enable precision irrigation to take place. We shall enhance, redouble, aggressively investment in the water harvesting area. We've been talking about it. I think God is saying, hey, you're sitting on what should have been done a long time ago as a country. We still have some surface water, underground water. All we need now is to accelerate investments in this area. And we should be able to irrigate. We want to stimulate agricultural production. Specifically, let me be specific on this, in this area. We will aggressively, as I said, shift resources from consumption, wastage, travel, business class. Secretary of Cabinet, I still hear that people who want to travel business class. From Lusaka to Johannesburg, business class. For 1 hour, 40 minutes. We sit on our stools, we villagers, for 3 hours. What's wrong with the economy ticket for 1 hour, 40 minutes? This is what I call pretense, pretentious behavior. For 1 hour, 40 minutes, you want to feel rich. Just for 1 hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. That's cheating. So there will be no more of such things, including unnecessary travel, size of delegations. I sent this signal to my cabinet colleagues yesterday in the cabinet meeting. I've made it official today. We have made it official. But how do we utilize the limited resources? This is where the resources will go, and other essential areas. We want to look at the genetics in agriculture, my fellow farmers. Drought-resistant crops, higher yielding varieties, wherever they are, as long as they don't have impurities. We are advanced in seed production in this country already. So we shall maximize that. Technology, as I said, precision irrigation. You won't believe it, just an hour ago, Minister of Agriculture, I was talking to the President of Israel. And he too, instantly on the phone, said he will make sure that the specialized team in water harvest and irrigation will be dispatched to our country immediately, even though they are at war. I think this is what friendship is all about. Now, what about us who are here? Do we wait for people at war to assist us? No. We need the assistance, but charity begins at home. We have sung the story of productivity for so long. We need to increase our productivity, farmers. Less than 3 tons per hectare is unacceptable going forward. It has to be 10, 9, 8, 10 tons per hectare of maize. And with irrigation, it will be at least 2 crops a year in the same hectareage. It means we'll move to 18 to 20 tons per 1 hectare that we work on as farmers. We'll work together in this space to make sure that happens. We will definitely enhance the cleanup of FISIP, Minister of Agriculture. We cannot tolerate the inefficiencies in FISIP anymore, abuse in FISIP anymore, including FISIP producers to make some of their production available for retention for their own consumption. When I grew up in the village, we used to have maize barns. One season of drought was not an issue because we had enough maize stored for 2 or 3 seasons. All that has been wiped out by bad behavior of consumption mind, luxury, nchekeleko, kasamfing. That we must return to household storage, plus the excess being available avail to FRA, because that maize technically belongs to government, technically. But we are also going to ensure that we expand the agricultural credit window, which we've been talking about for a long time. Mechanization, which you went to this morning. As you know, this fellow talking here, from early on from opposition, we talked about the expanded agricultural program. FISIP is not agriculture, but expanded, comprehensive agricultural program. So this is it. We are on it now. God is sending a signatory to us. I already talked about productivity. I will not repeat that. We will accelerate the development of alternative energy sources. I mentioned it already. Solar, wind, others. And no energy source will be ignored. Because if we do ignore, we cannot develop Mingomba project. The best ore body we have, we can't develop it if we don't bring other energy sources. Because it needs energy. Simple, straight. And we want to be understood by our friends in the global community that this is a matter of survival now for us. It's not just food security, energy security, it's now national security at stake. To achieve these measures, we shall therefore realign, amongst other measures, we shall realign the 2024 national budgets, which Parliament approved. That work begins yesterday, to realign our national budget. You heard what I said, move money away from business class travel, from large delegations, from workshop upon workshop to plan the next workshop. All that money will be mopped away from there and taken into this area. The immediate feeding of our people, plus turning into agriculture anchored on irrigation. Egypt produces a lot of food in the desert. Only one river, the Nile River. What about our Kafue, Zambezi, Chambeshi, Lukulu, Luangwa? What about Lake Mweru, Bangweru? What about all those bodies? This is a time we shall bring about the revolution which generations before us did not want to do. This is it. There's no choice. So, I've already chatted with the Minister of Finance. What I'm saying here, I've already engaged a couple of stakeholders. These measures are by no means exhaustive, as I said. Your government commits to adapting and enhancing responses as the situation evolves. Countrymen and women, our youth. The disaster and emergency is serious, and the government is responding urgently with the uttermost dedication and, I must say, as a united team. There will be no partial processes. It will be holistic. All of us. As the mix I see here, all of us will have to be involved. As a resilient and resourceful nation, we will stand together in unity and solidarity as one people. And together, we shall overcome. We will work, let me be specific, we will work with the farmers. Z farming. All of the farmers. Micro, small, medium, my Mukushi friend. Large. I know your capacity and your center pivots. I mentioned already. They'll be brought to bear. No arm twisting, but working together. It's a matter of necessity. So farmers, input suppliers, could be seed, could be fertilizer, could be equipment, will work with you. Grain traders, did I say grain trader here? Thank you for being present. Millers, I see the master miller or master millers there. You too will work with you. After all, we are already working together on the prices of milling. Thank you for going to Kazungula Bridge with a team. I follow things that go on in this country. One must have the pulse of the nation, otherwise you are lost. Academics, I hope there are some here, professionals, not just in government, outside government. Since I took office, I've noted a tendency where we in government think that we know better than everybody else. That's not true. Citizens who are experts in their own right, but they don't work for government, have to come to the table. And they must be welcomed and accommodated. International experts equally. We're a global village. Regulators, ZEMA, WAMA, you can't sit on water rights anymore. ZEMA, you can't take 18 months anymore to assess a project. We'll be sitting in some work stream somewhere. PPDF, naturally. PDU, naturally. All the other facets that have already been working together. But we'll be categoric. The church will work with the church without being selective. Which church? All the churches. After a family, they have members who listen to them. And through them, will appeal to the members. This is serious. This is serious. Earlier I touched on civil society, unions, traditional leaders, for that matter, political parties. Political parties. This is not a time for political competition. We will do that in 2026. For now, we have to work together. If there's a time we needed to work together, it is now. And let me just say others. I need to send a message to our resilient farmers throughout our land. I've been watching how you are reacting to this drought. I've been following. We want to express our gratitude, first for heeding our call to produce more food. Truly, even saloon workers or operators, one minister told me, she went to a saloon, and the saloon workers, for the first time, a saloon she has gone to for 15 years, first time they were talking about their acre of maize. Thank you to all of you who responded to that call to cultivate some food and other crops. But nature had its own issues. But your unwavering commitment to combat the El Niño situation through inventive irrigation methods, which I've never seen before. We've seen ox-drawn transportation of just 20 liters, 80 liters to just go and take to 1 or 2 lines to save some crop. Water bowsers, wheelbarrows, trying to save just maybe 100 stocks. We are following with amazement. This is truly commendable and quite simply heroic. Thank you for your efforts. Do you have our full support? Now, going forward, you have our full support. Your resilience and bravery is profound. It's inspirational. It's motivating to all of us. To our valued global community and cooperating partners, we appreciate your prompt response, as I have indicated already. timely response, but some who have been clear to me and to my colleagues, they are already providing substantive support ahead of today's announcement. This is commendable indeed. This is commendable indeed. But as I said, charity begins at home. We ourselves must realign resources into this agenda. In thanking our partners, we would like you to extend our appreciation, our thanks to your governments, to your nationals. I know, for the sins of my past, when a country donates to another country, that donation has come from citizens of that country. So we must thank the citizens of those countries. But to reiterate what I said already just a few minutes ago, let us work together. Church, traditional leaders, civil society, organizations, farmers, unions, all of us, political parties, in our mitigation efforts against this challenge. And emerges. One team approach. One Zambia, one nation. No one's excluded from this. All of us. For us, the work begins yesterday, now. May God bless you all. May God bless our country. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that.
You may take your seats with me.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the very clear message. Members of the press, as you are aware, this was a national address. We still have scheduled press briefing that will be addressed soon by His Excellency the President, and at that occasion, I will take questions. For this, take no questions, and therefore it's
overriding him.
Okay.
One or two questions, one male, one female, but on the subject. I don't want citizens to feel that we are running away from anything. I think you're
here. Yes, Mr. Shalala. There's a microphone there.
Good afternoon, sir.
Absolutely.
Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Shalala from ZNBC. From what you've declared, Your Excellency, and the picture across the country, my question is on the northern part of the country, which is currently receiving very good rain, and there's a lot of arable land. For example, I've been to Senga Hill district in Muchinga province, in northern province, which is actually one of the biggest producers of beans in the country. Could there be a plan by government, Your Excellency, to shift production of essential foods like maize to the northern part of the country, which is not adversely affected by climate change? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Maybe we can respond to that unless there's...
I will take the two. If there's another,
There's
if there's none, I'll take one. And we close.
Okay, Darius.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Good afternoon.
My name is Darius Jonia from Diamond TV. Mr. President, you have highlighted quite a number of actions that your government is going to undertake amidst the drought situation, which you have since declared as a national disaster. Having interviews with the farmers that have been affected, their plea has been on whether government will engage lenders, because they're the people that have borrowed loans. Is the government considering engaging money lenders to perhaps suspend the period in which they're supposed to pay back the loans because of the current situation? Thank you.
Yes, Your Excellency, again.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the two questions. Paul, shifting production in the northern areas. I think if you notice that has already been happening. We are very clear about that where there is water already, we must produce more. And yesterday in the cabinet meeting, I was telling my colleagues over this issue of travel. And I said yesterday, one trip, in answering your question, one trip of a minister and their delegation could provide solar irrigation facilities or pumps. I used the name Bangweru, Lake Mweru, to a widow. Not 1, 10, 20, 30, just to plant a hectare. And I was definitive, 50 meters away from the water body, because that's what the law says. I was a bit descriptive. I said, how much does a poly pipe class 6 cost? Because I'm a farmer, I know these things. The farmers know. It's 100 meters. So, but one trip saved, money saved, we can have 30, 40 people, each one, having a solar capacitated irrigation facility and planting a hectare, and with agricultural expertise, producing 8 tons that hectare by 2. We work hard by 3 actually, because maize is the 3 months, isn't it, Minister? So save the 3 months for harvest, 1 month this side, 1 month that side, 1 month that side. So we could be sitting on a production of, if you like, 25, 30 tons in 1 year. I used that in the cabinet meeting yesterday, and we mean it. These are the measures that we're talking about. So that where there are water bodies already, where there's rain already, we increase the production, rain-fed, Mr. Chintala, but also irrigate, because the cost of irrigating is lower there, because straight we go into abstracting water. But that does not mean that we will negate the 6 to 7 provinces. Unfortunately, the provinces that are affected is where the farming culture is. Because farming culture is also important. If you don't like farming, you will not make it work. It's as simple as that. Ask the farmers, like me. You don't like your cattle, you can pretend to own cattle for a year or 2. After that, they are all gone. They run away from you. Same with farming. So while we push the education to improve the farming culture in the northern corridor, it's a fact. I don't want someone after this press conference to say, no, he demeaned the people of the northern corridor. Please, can we report things correctly? So we're pushing the training there. At the same time, we have to continue producing in the farming culture areas. What are they? Eastern, Southern, Lusaka, Central, and now a good portion of Copperbelt, and portions of Western Province. I'll be very descriptive there. Kaoma area. Kema, Kaoma. That's where you find bigger fields. The rest of the fields in Western will be smaller fields. Because by nature, cassava is smaller fields. Anyway, you go to Luapula, wherever there's cassava eating culture, the fields are smaller. But we want to work on that. I'm illustrative in your answer, in my answer to your question, so you can understand what we're working on. So, it is lifting, moving the whole country, taking advantage of the endowments in each part of the country. Skill is also an endowment, isn't it? That's the answer to your question. Maybe I must just tag on the farming blocks that we've created. We're farming Luena, Nansanga. They are all in the northern corridor. Deliberately, we have quite a lot of activity coming through in Mporokoso, in Lunte. In fact, National Service has a farm in Lunte, Mporokoso. I'm aware because I'm engaging. And that's one of the farms we want National Service to straight push irrigation because the water bodies are already there. You heard me talk of the military defense. This is it. Darius, governments needs to engage lenders to assist farmers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Head on. You got it right. It's one of the things that we have to address. I think we're working on various insurance policies, schemes, working together to help ameliorate the pain to farmers who have lost their crop due to natural causes, not a political cause or reason, as some colleagues would like to insinuate already. Sadly so. How can the UPND government be responsible for El Niño alone when the drought is in Zimbabwe, is in Mozambique, it's in Botswana, it's in Namibia, it's in South Africa, it's in Malawi? So really we should not spend time on finger pointing. As I praise the farmers, if it wasn't for this drought, this year was going to be a bumper harvest. No question about it. Even that young man grew, it wasn't for the drought. That households will produce enough for themselves, and the demand for meal in the urban area centers will be much, much lower. That was our economic plan, economic program, if I may say so. So, thank you for your questions. They are very appropriate questions. Director of Ceremonies.
Thank you.
Ziko Mugambire.
Thank you, Excellency. We have now come to the close of our program. But before I invite all of us to stand and sing the national anthem, Your Excellency, we will beg your indulgence to take a few photos outside for a photo session with the various stakeholders that have come to your State House today. May I invite all of us to be upstanding? National anthem, please.
Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for their right. We've won freedom's fight. Oh, one strong and free, Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by God's good hands. Let us, all her people, join as one, brothers under the sun. Oh, one strong and free, one land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace needs Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, one strong, praise be to God. Bless our great nation, Zambia.